Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do One Piece Chapter 710 review. That is 7, that is 1, that is a review of One Piece. Now listen, y'all. First of all, this week's chapter One Piece, well, first of all, it came out, which surprised me because according to what they said on Anime News Network, it should be coming out next week. However, I'm not going to complain because the earlier the better, and it appears that Oda has recovered from his tonsillitis, which is good. Either that or he's muscling through, which I recommend he not do. I mean, I can wait an extra week if the man can fully recover instead of being partially recovered and still trying to work, which may be the case, but I'm not too sure because I'm not, I'm not in Japan. I didn't meet Ichiro Oda. I don't have him on. I don't have him on fucking speed dial. I'm not like, yo, like Oda. Like, yo, you good, bro? You good? Like, no, that's not the way it works, right? Unfortunately, because if that was the case, well, shit. Oh man, that's a buddy for life. That's a buddy for life. But the thing about it is that it came out, and the chapter overall. So let's talk about the chapter itself. Actually, no. Before we do that, even still, the cover page, the colored page. Wow. It actually looked pretty cool. It really did. It was like they're all doing some kind of like martial arts style. It's like we have Luffy rocking like a Jabra setup, like a old school, like a almost like a Don Chinjao's rocking the same thing. I forgot what it's like. I believe it's a Chinese martial arts suit. In fact, yeah, they're all rocking like Chinese martial arts wear. Well, except for Zoro. Zoro's like shirtless. Sanji's like Bruce Lee, like literally like Bruce Lee. And a few things here and there, like Usopp's like an old Chinese master. So it was a pretty cool cover page. And for some reason, even though Wano Kuni is a Japanese country, I kind of feel like it hints strongly. Actually, no. Never mind. It may be the country of flowers. Because the Don Chinjao and his sons, or his grandsons, they're from the country of flowers, Kano Kuni. And they rock like Chinese martial arts wear, or at least Don Chinjao does. I forgot about the other three. So, I mean, maybe we're gonna go to the Kano Kuni. I'm just speculating, but the cover page, regardless, looks nice. So, but that's my speculation. Now, when it comes to the chapter itself, the chapter itself is actually a relatively simple chapter. I mean, basically all it is really is that we see a scene of Bartolomeo, and Luffy's actually talking to Bellamy, and Luffy's actually talking to Bellamy in like a really respectful way, and Bellamy understands that his pride has been shattered because he spent all this time busting his ass, possibly, and I say possibly because it's not confirmed, but possibly taking a giant golden pillar from Sky Island and returning it to Don Flamingo just to prove his loyalty. And he's done a lot, obviously, to still get beat by not even the winner, by Elizabawa. And granted, that was a pretty powerful ass punch. He's like, king. That was a nice punch. But still, it feels that all of his hard work was pretty much thrown to the wayside. But when he says Straw Hat, Bartolomeo, he hears it. He's there. He's like, Straw Hat. Starts to sweat. Now, I don't know why that is. Either because he fears the name Luffy, because he understands how powerful Monkey D. Luffy is, or there is something other to it. There's another underlying story that we don't know of yet. And it could be because it's One Piece. There's a lot of underlining stories in One Piece. We all know. There's a lot. So who knows? We'll see where it goes. And by the way, apparently in the manga, there was a hint that Bellamy survived that incident when he was being attacked by his own friends, by Don Flamingo. And I don't know about that because I didn't check. But apparently it's there in the manga. But I mean, I'm just saying as a point of reference for those of you guys who are wondering as to why Bellamy, why Bellamy was even still alive, like I was, because I was like, why are you still alive, bro? But apparently in the manga, it's hinted that he's still alive. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, the next thing is that we follow the Law crew, basically Law, Caesar Clown, who's being, of course, captured, Usopp and Robin as they head over to Green Bay. Oh, wait, one last thing. I forgot. One last thing. Apparently, according to Bellamy, Luffy's haki is at a level where he could probably never reach. So, I mean, to me it makes sense. Why? Because he was trained by who? Really Dark King. So, and I wonder why he's called the Dark King. I mean, I speculate some crazy ass arm in hockey. Like, to the point where it makes Virgo look like a piece of shit. But maybe. I don't know. Either way. Okay, now moving on. Let's move the fuck on with the actual manga itself, right? Basically, we see them traveling to Greenbit on the big-ass iron bridge. And we saw the little fighting fish. The big fighting fish. Holy fuck. They are huge. We're talking about... when it comes to height alone, I'm estimating around 100 meters. When it comes to width, let's say 200, 300, probably. They're huge. They're like this big, huge ass fishes. And they're coming these iron gates like, yeah, let's go. And Usopp's like, these gates aren't stopping them at all. And it's a whole herd of these things. But Law cannot fight. And according to him, he has to save up his stamina. So Usopp, Robin are on they're on the first squad. Like basically, they're the first ones to actually defend Law and Caesar Clown against the fighting fish. At some point, Caesar Clown steps in because Law has his heart in his hand. So he has his heart in his hand. The leader of the Heart Pirates has Caesar Clown's heart in his hands. So Caesar Clown, he understands, yeah, I'm probably not going to do anything against him right now. So what ends up happening is that Caesar Clown assists Usopp and Robin as they fend off against the fighting fish, and actually doing a pretty damn good job until the point where they get to a point where the bridge actually collapses because of fighting fish, and one of these fishes is going to attack him head on, but then gets cut off by these things that we don't see, and these things actually take out the fighting fish on the other side of the bridge, and apparently, I mean, we don't know what they are as of that point in the chapter. But when Usopp, I think it was Law, Usopp, they talked to him like, hey, like, what's, you know, like thanks for saving us. And then it's like they hear that, they're like, humans run away. So even though they brought in the fighting fish to eat, they didn't bring it in because they heard the humans. And so what's happening is that Caesar Clown, he uses his gas ability to actually fly Law and the others over to the other side. Because again, Law won't use his powers because he wants to conserve his stamina for when Quixote comes in. And what I'm assuming that means is that Law, the moment they transfer over Quixote, right? The moment they transfer over Quixote, the moment they transfer over Caesar Clown to Don Quixote Don Flamingo, I'm assuming that Law is going to make a huge fucking room so he can teleport himself, Usopp, and Robin to the other side, so they can avoid confrontation with Flamingo. Because that's what I'm assuming. Because they need a way to get back to the other side of the goddamn island. They need to get back from they need to get back to Dressrosa. So Law has to make a pretty damn big fucking room. We're talking several hundred, maybe not, several dozens of kilometers. All right, hundreds maybe. Who knows? Big fucking room. Oh, that'd be crazy, man. All right, now, and from that point on, they actually are going to go to the Eastern Shore. They see a marine ship crash inside the actual foliage of Greenbit, which, by the way, reminds me of the Usopp. It reminds me of the archipelago that Usopp went to when he was training. The Beyond Archipelago, I believe it was called. Like all these giant ass plants and shit. So Usopp should feel at home, but he's not at home. Like, and that's the thing I was talking about with the Zoro fanboy last week on a live stream. Usopp, it appears that he always flip flops. Like, he has moments of, you know, he has very courageous moments, and then at the same time, there's moments where he's like back to his bitchy ass self. So I don't know. Like, he should feel right at home. Like, yeah, oh, plants, big ass plants, foliage. Fuck it, let's go. I know what to do. But apparently he's horrified. It's like, ugh. And the marine ship was there too, so I guess that came into play. But it appears to me that Law it's hinted that Law, when he was talking to Smoker on Punk Hazard and told him about I'm going to Greenbit, it appears that he purposely did that so he could actually utilize Smoker to his advantage and persuade Smoker or trick Smoker into going to green bit, and probably as a means so they can use the Marines as distractions while they escape Quixote. So I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but who knows? We'll see as the arc moves forward. And then they get, so basically it's like Law and Caesar Clown are going to the Eastern Shore, and Flamingo should be there in 15 minutes to pick up Caesar Clown, because that's the deal. And a minute later, Law tells Usopp and Robert to go on sniper/recon duty, which they do, because they don't want to die from Quixote's hands. Hell no. So they wind up going inside the foliage, and then they wind up running into a bunch of Marines. And the Marines are talking to somebody. They don't see who it is, but they're talking to someone. And then the Marines, they say, well, you know, we're the good guys. And then the guys who respond say, okay, well, then give us your weapons. And then they're like, no, we can't do that. We have a mission to accomplish. And then one guy's like, you know, show yourself. And then in an instant, they get stripped of all their clothes and weapons. In an instant, they get stripped of all their clothes and weapons. Robert even said, too fast to follow. And, you know, that's key. So what she does is that she does like a miniature, like I think it's called Mille Fleur, like her ability where she makes like several hundred hands on the ground. And apparently she catches one of these things that actually strip the Marines of their clothes and their weapons, because the Marines, they run away. And then she says, dwarves. And that's where chapter ends. Dwarves. So my thing now is, okay, so we got fucking toys. We got fairies. We got dwarves. What is going on? What's happening? What are the dwarves? I'm assuming that the dwarves are the equivalent to the fairies. Because, and here's my assumption, right? According to the folklore in Dressrosa, fairies come about here and there, and they take people's stuff. And it's like a big joke to them. Of course, Zoro got his sword stolen. No, fuck that. No, he got, yeah, that one, the Meto Shisui stolen, the black sword. He got that stolen. And he's on a mission right now. He's doing motherfucking shit. And I'm assuming those same fairies are, in fact, the dwarves on Greenbit. And Greenbit, since it's quote-unquote uninhabited, even though it's not, I'm assuming it's like their homeland. And so they go there regularly, and I believe that they're too small to be sensed by the fighting fish. And plus, they appear to be powerful enough to actually capture and eat fighting fish very easily. So they go back and forth between Dressrosa and Greenbit, and they collect items. I mean, they just strip down these Marines of all their weapons and clothing. And according to the folklore in Dressrosa, people have been missing some stuff, and normally it's due to fairies. So I'm thinking that the fairies equals dwarves in this case. However, they could be something completely different. They could be gnomes. Alright, they could be hobbits. I don't fucking know. It could be Frodo and Sam. I don't know. I don't know. It could be elves. We don't know. But that's what I'm assuming. I mean, either that or they're two completely different species, and they're like at war. I mean, that's a huge speculation. But I don't know, man. Like at this point, I'm gonna say they're the same. That's what I'm gonna say. I believe I'm right, but I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. But who knows? We'll see where it goes. And I mean, overall, that's the chapter. So the chapter is actually okay. In my opinion, I think it's okay. I think it's okay because, yeah, it's overall okay because nothing really like extravagant happened. There was no huge reveal. It's a setup to reveal, hopefully, because it appears that Robin has caught one of these dwarves, and also when Zoro was chasing these fairies, he appeared to actually caught up with one of the fairies. So, and I believe when Robin found when Robin called one of the dwarves. One of the dwarves said, Kabu-san. I don't know why, but maybe Kabu-san's their leader of the elves/dwarves. We don't know, because right now all we can make is speculation. But things are setting up. Like it's not really a setup chapter because they did get the green bit. They did get the green bit, but there are setup moments in the chapter, and I'm thinking that these dwarves and these fairies are the same species, but they could be gnomes. All right, they could be hobbits, they could be elves, they could be warlocks. They could be fucking warlocks. Fuck it. They could be trolls, like the small, tiny ass trolls. I don't know, but we'll see. So it could be pixies. Who the fuck knows? We'll wait and see. So the chapter overall is okay, and I'm signing out. Be sure, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day. And by the way, made a Twitter account. Follow me at King of Lighting. It is King of Lighting, Lighting, and that's me on Twitter. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a nice day.